Okay.
Exciting times.
It is.
Is it working?
It should be. Why aren't you going through? Stop streaming and broadcast. There we go. It's finally started working. It is. It is. Should be. Why aren't you going through?
Long ago, during the First Crusade, a heretical band of Templars dared defy the Almighty.
There we go. There we go.
Casting aside
It's
their
finally
sacred
started
vows,
working.
they opened a gate of hell at the very heart of Jerusalem. Outpoured the legions of the damned, and the world burned. Know then that it is the year of our Lord, 1930, and the flames of war still rage.
I tell you,
This is
interview, which is completely like I did nothing to us.
Tabletop Kickstarter, October 2024.
It's actually a gigantic.
Fantastic. So,
During the First Crusade 2024.
we are here with Tuomas, and if I can get this to go away, why are you not going away more? Got all sorts of lag going on here. 2 secs. We are here. We are here.
Risk you take when you try new software in the.
I know, right? It's going to be testing me. Right, if we just get rid of that completely. Why are you not going away more? All sorts of lag going on here. Okay. 2 secs.
Risk you take when you try new software in the.
I know, right? It's going to be. Got audio sources all over the place here. Just give me 2 seconds to try and stretch this out.
No props. Take your time.
Okay. Right, let's get rid of that. I don't know why this is being such a pain. We should be seeing Tuomas, and we're not. Audio sources all over the place here. Just give me 2 seconds to try and stretch this out. Why this is being such a pain. We should be seeing. There we go. Splendid. So I've still got some audio crossover here that's a little bit annoying, but other than that, we all still seem to be good. Now, as I was playing that trailer, you gave us some really, really, really exciting news, and you mentioned a Hollywood star. There we go.
Yep. So
Splendid.
I don't want to give the names away because
I've still got some
I
audio,
want the person to do the
crossover here.
honors.
Mhm.
But
Annoying,
to
but
show
other
how
than that,
mad
we all
this world
still
is,
seem
there
to be
is
good.
a
Now,
the
as I was
Hollywood
playing-
leading man who is really into tabletop and has done stuff on it, and he's doing a documentary
Okay.
on his favorite games and talking to their creators. And just a couple of weeks ago, I got a message that he wants to fly to Helsinki and interview me, and I thought, yeah, right, this is a Nigerian scambler.
Was he a prince?
Yeah, it is not. And I don't want to spoil. It's his surprise to give away, but I promise you, once it goes public, I'm gonna be sharing the heck out of it. So we have friends in high places in the wargaming community.
Fantastic. That's awesome. Yep, sorry about the echo there, guys. I had 2 sources coming through. It's all good. Teething problems. We should be good from here on out. And we've got some cool stuff to come up. Hopefully, Thomas, can you just turn your gain up just a little bit? I've just got... Yeah, your gain. I've just got Ruski saying you're a little bit low.
Okay, so do you want me to tilt the camera, or was it the volume, or?
I'm going to turn my volume down a little bit, and let's just see. Is that a bit better?
Yeah, I can hear you all fine.
Awesome. I can hear you okay, no problem at all. So it's all good. So yeah, so we've got the announcement trailer there, but you were telling me earlier that that's not the real trailer, that we've got a proper trailer coming, and it's going to basically be a proper trailer for the Kickstarter, with pictures of the book and all sorts of things. So what else can we expect to see there?
Well, we'll go through, because we want to feature all our creatives. There's been a really unpleasant trend in the wargaming industry lately, and games industry, where the creators are sort of being phased out, and their names, you don't know who are the people who are doing it, which I think is really bad for the players, because I want to know who is making my games, my miniatures, because I know the people I trust, and I want to find out about new talents. So we're going to feature every sculptor's name, give samples of our favorite models they've done.
Okay.
Every art, from John Blanche to Dave Gallagher, including our cover artist. I think we've announced it's the Paul. Yes, we have in our Kickstarter page. The legend himself, Paul Bonner, is painting us something. So look forward to maybe the first glimpse of what might be coming there. We are also gonna showcase our page layout, so you see what the rulebook will look like. It's some people who follow us on Facebook and the other places have probably seen the hand-drawn logo. So this person and another great graphic designer are involved in the creating our book's layout. I think you're gonna be very impressed. And then we have a really exciting part of this is that I can now tell that the Kickstarter will also have a fully customizable trench terrain system where you can build any kind of terrain, the trench terrain, out of it, modular pieces. You can have like millions of combinations. There's a chap called Marco in Italy who's designed it and sculpted it. It's absolutely genius stuff with proper fire steps. So everything you need, places for your models, the line of sight, the really cool aesthetics that can be themed by Warman is all part of the set that we're going to be offering there too.
Which our watchers can see on the screen right now, so you can see how this works. Looks really cool. I had a look at this when Thomas sent it over to me, and it looks eminently magnetizable at the edges, so you could literally use this to build any kind of version of the terrain. I presume this is all printed out in FDM, plastic filament, but there's no reason you couldn't print it out in resin as well, Thomas, to be honest, is there?
No, none at all. I mean, you get the STL version, you print it out of anything you want to, as long as your printer can handle it. And the nice thing there is that if you are a more beginner, you can make them that they are more sort of like these walls. So you don't have to you can just build them out of the two opposing sides and make these kind of wall type trenches. Or if you're more handy, you can cut the shapes on and have them actually embedded into terrain, so you get those real dug trenches.
Yes, yeah. And it's one of the really cool things about the Facebook group, although I've sort of taken myself off Facebook just for a little bit, the creativity and the amount of stuff that people have done on that Facebook group is just absolutely incredible. I mean, it is just mind-blowing, from using sort of GW kits to Wargames Atlantic. You've had people 3D sculpting their own stuff. It's really been inspiring, like watching people jump into this world that's been created.
Yeah, and what I really love is that it's also allowed to people to discover all sorts of talent, like the Archvillain Bestiarum. It's the people have looked around and seen there is a lot of, in the hobby space, there is a lot of cool stuff going in. I'd be super happy that a lot of indie sculptors who are really good have gotten extra exposure, painters, and sort of seeing what I originally fell in love with the hobby, which is the creativity, the personal touch conversions, your own the scratch building. It's really nice to see all that coming back in Trench Crusade. So not that we obviously are chuffed how much support is that people are giving to us, but really our point on doing this game wasn't to try to squeeze anyone. It was go back to bring to the modern age what we loved about the origins of the hobby. Because of course the rule set, the models, 3D printing, these are all new concepts that didn't exist in the 80s.
Yes, yeah. It reminds me, as I say, of something like Mordheim, where back in the day people would put their own, Middenheimers together out of pieces and Reichlanders and all that kind of stuff. So I think that allowing people to do that and not just going off the bespoke kits that are available out there allows people to make things really grimdark. And, sort of, we've seen some amazing conversions and stuff that I think it's fair to say quite a lot of other creators or other companies, as they've gone for a more widespread audience, they've kind of lost that edge. Whereas Trench Crusade is still very much saying mature audiences only, like 8-year-olds probably shouldn't be playing this. This isn't Johnny's first war game sort of thing, So I think that appeals to an awful lot of people as well about Trench Crusade.
Yeah, there was the that era. There was the Repo Man the movie and the original 40K and the a lot of that era's gaming was a bit of underground, wasn't it? There was it was a little bit in quotes dangerous. Like there was it wasn't necessarily a book that you would share just with everyone. Is the gaming books at that point. Even D&D, it had this silly satanic panic, but it also added a veneer of coolness to it that you can't get on a very clean scrubbed corporate product, which a lot of companies, and this is, I'm not attacking anybody as such, but once you are a publicly traded company and your investors, they want money, and money.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You have to be very, very risk averse, and they try to sort of be very legalize everything. Is the send a lot of cease and desist orders out, and I get it. I've worked for huge corporations for over 20 years. It's what it is. But why we wanted to do this, that we don't have to deal with any of that. We can say that you want to kit bash everything. Rules are free. Models, use whatever you want. If that's what you want to do, awesome. If you want to buy the stuff we do, awesome. Either way, it's you're welcome. And that's the old school spirit, which I think allowed, because a lot of the great creators, they weren't necessarily able to buy everything. I mean, part of why you saw, like with Mordheim, budding community and the early wargaming was that if you didn't have tons of money to buy everything, you used your creativity. And now there is so many more options through the indie sculptures and 3D printing, and the plastic injection molds are much more affordable now for other companies. You have so much more to play around with now. So the creative people have amazing tools at their disposal now.
Which is brilliant. I mean, it almost feels like, and you talked about the sort of the retro idea back in the Mordheim days, which would be like the early 2000s. And it's kind of what Grumpy Grognard Gaming is all about. I'm old. I loved it in the old days. And I kind of feel like, as regards to a lot of the corporate entities that we're referring to, a little bit of the soul's gone, a little bit of the edge is gone, as you say. And Trench Crusade just brings that all screaming back in, make your own most, twisted, heretical things you can. And then obviously you've got the official stuff coming out off of the artwork as well. And I'll showcase a little bit of the artwork in a minute, because Mike's artwork is one of the main things that drew me into the world. Again, many other settings have started to get a bit more corporatized, a bit more sanitized. And then you go and see something like Mr. Francina's artwork and you're just like, oh, it's this kind of next level kind of stuff there. So I think let's just shrink this down a little bit so we can still see you. But this is a slideshow of all of his artwork. And, most of you guys have seen this stuff in the artwork, but I just think it really... The artwork should be evocative enough to tell you exactly what you're going to get when you get into a war game. It's kind of like, like when you bought a metal album back in the 80s and it was, awesome, like an Iron Maiden cover, and now a lot of death metal bands do it. And you're just like, that's an awesome cover. Those guys, that music must be good. And I kind of feel like wargaming has the same kind of thing where, it's almost like a promise leading into something. And we all know that maybe the models won't exactly be a one-on-one. Some things are too spindly. Some things are too difficult to recreate in physical form. But I think this is probably one of the games or the systems I've seen where the models most match the artwork. I mean, it's some of it is actually one-on-one. Like the chorister there looks the same, and so does the anchorite and stuff like that. So from that perspective, I think it's just incredible. So you've got the people that, you know, if you want what's in the artwork, you can totally have that. But if you've got the imagination and the desire to build other stuff, you can go nuts. And that's brilliant. So is all this stuff that you've shown in the artwork, is all of it in the Kickstarter, or is there some stuff being held back?
There is, Mike has more artwork, and of course he's painting and drawing all the time. We haven't shown even nearly all the models, but basically every single troop type we've covered in the main warbands.
Yep.
It will be in the Kickstarter. So all the 6 core warbands is anything that is covered in them. We will offer you a model. So we haven't revealed all of them, but they all do follow that they are based very heavily on Mike's art, so that we have because you talked about it, that the metal the album cover, you usually got really cool cover on a really cool music because the artist would listen to it and get inspired and do something really great. The art they pick. So we wanted that the whole project, the rules, the lore, the fiction, the models, the art, that they all feel like they are part of one cohesive, like super grim, dark, heretical world.
Yep.
So but yeah, you will see models for every single core, the warband, the unit, and if we do well, then there's a lot of stuff that we really want to bring out. Is new warbands, but also the variants like the Ethiopians that I just wrote the rules for.
Yes, I saw one of the was it Abyssinia?
Abyssinia, yeah.
Proofs that Mike put up, and that looks really cool as well. There's so much variety because, you know, obviously it is going all over the globe, as it were, because it is a alternate history Earth. As you say, there's nearly sort of boundless scope for doing stuff. So when it comes to the Kickstarter itself, is this something that's going to have stretch goals and unlocks, or is it going to be just a set offering, as it were?
We will have stretch goals. We will also be offering free stuff. So if you back us on any level, we're actually going to give you extra stuff that we have in reserve. There is some of the stretch goals, because a lot of companies now use the Kickstarter or other the crowdfunding more sort of as a extra income. For us, this really is a Kickstarter. Like the stretch goals will genuinely be stuff that the stretch goals will allow us to do, because there's a lot more that we could do, but there is no company or investor behind us. We are paying for everything, and of course for me and Mike and the James, we are taking a loan from our backs. We are working for free, but we are also funding all the development. So the stretch goals are real stretch goals. We don't have some special bank where there is tons of money. So you will see stuff that we think will really improve and increase and grow the game as the stretch goals. But there is stretch goals coming.
Fantastic. And you've said that obviously there will be 6 war bands. So whatever faction you're into, you will be able to build a war band out of this Kickstarter. You'll be able to get that, and you'll be able to go straight out. Now, obviously, we're not going to hold you to anything, because Kickstarters are Kickstarters. There's logistics. Sometimes they get over popular, and you've got to produce more than you thought you would. But roughly, how long do you reckon it's going to take to turn around the Kickstarter and get people their stuff so they can start playing?
Well, with the STL stuff is easy. So we are aiming right now for 2-week Kickstarter, 2 weeks of backer kit where you can fiddle and bring stuff. And then as soon as the Kickstarter pays us, because we have to pay our partners, obviously. They ain't going to work for free, unlike us. Then we are hoping that those who order digital will be printing their miniatures before Christmas. So they should have hopefully most of the December, they should already be printing and painting their stuff. And for the physical stuff, because since we're going with very large printing demand partner, we are aiming to have the first batch of their stuff the be delivered from 2 months from the closing of the Kickstarter. You're depending on the way, roughly trying to guesstimate how many people we've got and being optimistic.
Yep.
So we'll probably have to do several batches, but we are hoping that it will be well within the first half of the new year, that everybody, fingers crossed, will have all their
Fantastic.
models.
So we're not going to be waiting like a year, like a lot of board games and things. You wait a year, 2 years, 4 years in my case. I think I'm still waiting for Cthulhu Death May Die to turn up. So, you know.
The book will be, because we will. I'm releasing the 1.5 rules just before the Kickstarter, and we'll base the book rules on those. So we'll but we need to get the rules before we can do the full finalized layout and the graphic design. So that we will hope to finish the graphic design of that is within 4 months of the closing of the Kickstarter, and then it's just print into the printers. But again, we have a very strong printing demand partner, because we are not talking about like millions of books, so there is no reason why that also shouldn't be quite rapid. But the miniatures will arrive first, the book a bit later, but since the current up-to-date rules will be available free on online anyway, nothing should be stopping you from playing the instant that you get models.
Right. Hear that, big company that we're not talking about? So, yeah, I mean, free rules. You make the rules free online, people are going to play. Whether they play with your models or if they play with somebody else's models, they're going to play, and then they're going to talk to other people about it and go, dude, there's this great game. It's so much fun. It's so cinematic. It's so narrative. There's another word for that giant company that they seem to have forgotten a little bit. And that I really like. It's one of the things I really like about Trench Crusade is the cinematic themes behind the whole thing, be it the blood tokens, you've got the tests that you make. There's so many opportunities to have a story happen as you go through your games, which you can also link into a campaign, from what I remember reading from an early draft of the rules. So you start with a certain amount of models, and then you add more models as time goes on until you get up to, I think it was 20 or so, wasn't it?
Yeah, 20 or so, yeah. And I just released the first full version of the campaign rules. Not every scenario yet, but that you can build the warbands. So you can play an entire 12 battle campaign. One of the stretch goals I can reveal is that we would love to tend to build on that, do a map-based campaign.
Yep.
Which obviously then you need a map maker and all the jazz. It's so you can do map-based campaign, and also I want to look at a solo campaign, because I fully realize that especially if you are new to this space, might be a bit shy, might want to try out the rules before you go into a scare war games club. It's so it's another thing that we are hoping that the Kickstarter will allow us to do.
Excellent. So I'm just answering a chat really quick. Yeah, I mean, so when it comes to the Kickstarter, how long is going to be running? Because you used to get Kickstarters like 30 days. And then what happened is when people realise that the middle time is kind of dead, people pile on at the start, it drops off, and then it picks up again in the last 48 hours. But obviously people are going to be looking at things like paydays and stuff like that. So do you know how long the campaign is going to run for?
2 weeks. That's
2 weeks.
We want every day to have something meaningful, at least potentially, because it depends on what kind of level of support there is. But 2 weeks also means that since we have everything sculpted, we'd rather have a pretty efficient Kickstarter, because then people can get their models sooner.
Yes.
Because we are estimating roughly half of the people will go for digital and print them themselves, and that's awesome, because that's what we want, that the people have their choice in their hand, and they can get painting, and they showing it, and they playing games, and they putting it up online, because that helps us. And then the backer kit is actually in many ways maybe more important, because once the Kickstarter is over and you got your pledge, and then you start writing your army list, and you start thinking, my warband should have this, that, or the other, so you can modify it, or maybe your mate comes in and say, hey, I want to play Do, so you can add the warband starter set for another warband, whatever you want. That's
Gotcha.
Another tool. 4 weeks of really focused time, I think, is much better than stretching the Kickstarter for the sake of stretching it.
No, I agree. I think 2 weeks is a happy medium. I've seen some Kickstarters where it's like 5 days, And I'm like, yeah, but I get paid in 9 days. So, it's a little bit short. So I think 2 weeks is pretty good. And it sounds like a lot of people should be asking for resin 3D printers for Christmas. I've got a resin 3D printer myself. It's a learning curve, but it's getting better. The technology is getting very good. And the 8K ones that are out these days, the detail is just absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, it is really, really, really good. So is there going to be like an all-in pledge for the people who want everything?
Yeah, originally we were not going to do that, but there are so many people asking for it, and everybody seems to want a $666 pledge level. So the obviously it won't come in quids. It's going to be less because of the exchange rate.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
There are so many people who want to do that pledge because it's funny. Well,
yeah.
We said, okay, we'll look. We are looking. There are other things that we're looking at. Is with the Baron of Dice. It's the.
Oh yeah, the guys make the dice. Yeah.
Yeah, make a themed dice for every warband. It's so to get, because we are not looking to rob anybody blind. So that's a $666 is quite a lot of money.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So we are looking at the all-in pledges, both digital and the physical, and what they would look like. And we are also looking at the can we partner up with some really, really good 3D printer company that we offer a big discount coupon, or that they have an offer that runs alongside for people who, if they want to get Trench Crusade and they've been looking into getting 3D printing, that we could make that very affordable at the same time.
Oh wow, fantastic!
If we can pull that off.
So actual 3D printer manufacturers, sort of the Elegoo's and what's the other one? Frozens of the world. No, that's amazing. That is. I mean, that's something that I don't think has ever been done before from a miniatures Kickstarter point of view. And as I say, you do have these people who have loads of money and they just get their wad of cash and just whoosh, slap it on the table. Give me everything.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten involved a lot with the original Warhammer and War Games gaming art forums, and there are people who've done well in their lives who are really into their games, who have more disposable income than you and me and everybody else in this stream.
Yep.
And a lot of these people, they want to support the creatives that they like, so
absolutely, yeah.
Them, and they are more than welcome to do that, and we should offer that option too. I like, because the vision always was that if you are a kid that doesn't have a lot of money, we offer you free rules, and hey, if our models we are trying to make the core, like the starter warband box is really cheap. If you don't have money for that, hey, get 20 quid, you get tons of models for Wargaming Atlantic.
Yes, yeah, exactly, yeah.
So they can't make it fairer than that. It's but then if you've done well in life, you're in a good job, you have disposable income, you want to support us, there is ways to do that too. So that there is a spectrum. It isn't just about this end.
Yeah.
It's about this end and everything between.
It's like John Hammond says in Jurassic Park. Now, Donald, this isn't a park for the super rich. You want everybody to be able to play. You don't want to put any limits on anybody. Do we have, and again, I'm not going to hold you to this because I understand things will change. Do we have a rough idea of how much a warband's going to cost people in printed and STL terms?
Yeah, the STLs is going to be significantly cheaper for obvious reasons. It's I mean, that's really about us that we obviously the sculptures, it's their job. We have to take that. So that covers part that. I think the warband box we are looking at right now is to have a viable 8-model warband to be around $45 to $50, probably more, because we need to find out the exact cost of the printers.
Yep.
And what they charge for shipping and distribution and all that. But I definitely don't want to go more expensive than $50, because my thinking is that what you should do, like if you are like a middle of the road hobbyist, $45 for the book, $50 for the warband, $95, so under 100.
Yes, yeah.
That's where we want to be. Obviously, in pounds, that's going to be a bit less. The STLs, it's I don't remember what we have been looking at, but the rule of thumb usually is around half the value or something.
Gotcha. Yep.
That's the typical one. And then basically you print as many as you wish.
Okay.
So obviously you can't sell them, but everybody knows.
Yeah, no. But the book will be available digitally as well, I suppose. The full book. for people to pick up as like a PDF or an EPUB or something?
There's the thing there that since I will do everything in my power to have the rules as clean and perfect for the book as possible. So there's a couple of people, we want to add new warbands, and we will find some mistakes. So and that means that we have a very professional graphic artist doing the book layout.
Yep.
So that it would be huge and slow job to keep the living rule book on that level. So we are gonna keep everything in the rules is the free online, but the book we will make separately as the book, and we are looking at it more like, right, let's make it a piece of art. It's a collector's piece.
Gotcha.
We expect a year's time. Hopefully we are successful. We've added more warbands. We've added erratas. So your book is, maybe you don't use it every day on your gaming table anymore. Maybe you work on our living rule book from the web. But the idea is that the book is it has the lore, the art, the maps, the World Gazetteer, the hopefully some the fiction pieces from some of my friends who've done Black Library stuff and whatnot. That it's more sort of a collectible art piece,
right?
Than
Yeah.
the stay on the rules. If you follow what I mean. Because I'd rather keep that the rules are up-to-date rules are always available for free, rather than, hey, you have to wait for 3 months as we relay out.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, it's going to be a mighty tome then if it's got all of Mike's artwork and everything like that in it. So we are looking at a chunky book, which I love. I'm a sucker for art in books and stuff like that. So that's awesome. We've had a couple of people just asking here, if they do miss the Kickstarter for whatever reason, is there going to be a late pledge? I know you're going through BackerKit and they offer a late pledge option. Is that something that you're going to be doing, with obviously the proviso that you might just have to wait a little bit longer for your stuff? But we don't want people to miss out on the Kickstarter. So I was just wondering if you are doing late pledges up until the date.
Yeah, I mean, we are looking at that right now. More info on that later. We definitely don't want to, as you saw with our earlier Kickstarter, we approved late pledges probably way too late. It's in the hindsight, it's we will look into the ways of getting as many people an opportunity to get in as possible. More info on that later. I'm not trying to keep anything secret. I just don't want to get false information. I want to make sure that our final plan for that part, we have a plan, and we will make it public as soon as we know. And if people miss it, don't panic. We will do what we can to allow you to get in. Now, obviously, some of the like, we are gonna try to make as many like good deals on the Kickstarter.
Yes, yeah.
So those might not be available forever for obvious reasons. It's the part of the Kickstarter is that if you come and back us, we want to show appreciation that you will help us to make that the game reality. That might not be available forever. I don't know yet. It's but neither should you panic if I know paydays happen. Sometimes you've got like your fund money is coming later on the year, whatever. It's we will try to look after you, and more info on this later.
Excellent. Okay, no, that's really cool. I did have another quick question regarding the pledges. How many different pledges do you think there's going to? I mean, so say for example, you just want to get in with a mate, rulebook, 2 warbands. Is that something's there, or is it everything as a bolt-on throughout the Kickstarter?
No, everything can be ordered separately. So we have, I believe, 62 SKUs, i.e. codes for everything. It's the warband boxes, individual models, the book, the terrain pieces, whatever it is. Some things like the yeomen and the Aizebs and the heretic troopers, the smallest bit, because they've been designed to come as a group.
Yep.
Those will come always as a group rather than individual models, but most of the things you can order one model of each. So everything can be ordered separately. Sure, we will have the pledge levels where, hey, a bundle, you get all these together, it costs this. It's a bit fair, but if you want to do just pick and mix, you're going to do like in candy store, you can totally.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense at the end of the day, because you've got people that, as I say, have made their own stuff. Maybe they just haven't quite getting around to making a war wolf yet. And they're like, that's going to be really hard to make. So you know what? I'm just going to grab that from the Kickstarter. So that's kind of cool. I presume that we are looking at, and I'm just going to put some models of the pictures up. So pictures of the models even. Preferably not over, Tuomas. But the shipping's going to be worldwide, I take it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if your country is at war, then obviously nothing we can do about that.
No, that's a little bit different, isn't it? Yeah.
There are places in the world that post doesn't deliver, but yeah, shipping worldwide.
Excellent. Okay, so everybody can get stuck in and play, which is, as you say, the main thing. Now, when it comes to the World of Trench Crusade post Kickstarter, what are we looking at? Obviously, we get to sort of mid next year. Everybody's got all their stuff. Trench Crusade is this huge thing that, loads of people are playing and stuff like that. It really makes a mark with the people who want that grimdark element back to their games, which, has been missing for so long. And as I say, I've got some pictures of the proofs that I've just sort of grabbed off of the various Facebook sites up. And you can see that this is not messing about, this game. That the models are, very much, they're not cartoony. It's not that kind of boiled down, kind of watered down level. This is proper grimdark stuff, in my opinion. This is putting the grimdark back in where it's been leached out, because obviously tabletop gaming has, as you say, got so much more popular, got so much within the cultural zeitgeist, that us old guys that were like back in the day called nerds for rolling dice, and it's in danger now of becoming a cool thing, and it's good in some ways, but it's
I think the hobby is big, so I would say that it's great. There is like the more mainstream stuff, but the gaming is big tent, and since nobody is, at least on this level, which we are hoping to achieve, isn't really serving this area, and that's where like my heart and Mike's heart and John Blanche's heart, who very graciously is contributing to the project as well, is that there should be plenty of room for variety, and there should be something for the people who love grimdark too. But if your question was how do we see the world developing in a year's time, so ideally, if we're successful, we basically means that we can pay sculptors, and maybe we could stop working for free at some point. The monthly releases, like we already have, because there's, if you look at the rules, we have already, I believe, 14 variant warbands. We would love to cover all of those. Do the Irish, the Scots, it's the Ethiopians, the Mammon's Knights of Avarice. They do the variants of the Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent, like the different deadly sins. Every month is to do like or 2 months, whatever is the right name. But to have a continuous release of the A, cover the models, but for the rules we've written, and B, start building the world. Do the Hebrew Knights, do the Church of Metamorphosis. It's do the Crusader Knights. Everybody wants Crusader Knights, especially Mike. Mike loves Crusader Knights. Start looking is the even further. It's the around the world. It's what are the Mongols doing? How's the world doing?
Look at the Americas and stuff like that.
Mali, what's going on there? We know that the Mammon wants to conquer the fabled gold. So how is the war on that front? It's I have for the Crown of England. I have the defenders of the moving fortress. Because in the lore, the Nelson was betrayed.
At Trafalgar.
And he managed to hold the heretic fleet enough that the remnants get back and they could defend the coast. And then England built the moving fortress that the wanders around the English coast, is keeping the heretics away at bay. And there would be a warband associated with them. There's all this stuff around the world, and I really want to explore the places that normally are left unexplored. Like Iron Sultanate has been so much fun to do, and quite frankly, it's the whole culture, history, and all that rich iconography and the interesting military history is just mainly ignored. It's the same thing with the Ethiopians. It was so cool. I've always read about them like with the Armenians, the first Christian state church ever established. The line from the King Solomon to this day that they claim that the Ark of Covenant, it's this really fascinating warrior culture that even during like the early 1900s, they were like the Italians sent a modern army against the Solomonic throne, and they kicked their asses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody talks about it because they're a bit embarrassed, but you send a modern, like, nobody thought it would be possible that you send a modern European army to Africa. Of course they're going to win.
Yes,
But
yeah.
It's and it wasn't like the guys. I mean, there were guys with spears and swords because they were still effective in close combat. They had modern rifles, artillery, and of course all this wonderful the iconography. All this is unexplored in the popular gaming space. I think people are just afraid to even cover it. That doesn't mean like we have a wicked the Papal States warband. So the Italian military history is just as every bit as cool, but it's also way more the covered already in the multiple media. So we want to expand the world and the explore the areas that normally are left completely unexplored.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I mean, is there? I know you guys were working on a world map. I don't think I've seen it yet. Is that something that's still being worked away on? Because obviously it'd be very interesting to see what the state of the world is in this kind of demon blasted hellscape that we've got at the moment. So I know you were talking about that on our last chat, and I was just wondering how that was going.
It's been proceeding really well. Me and Mike has been working on it a lot. We are, again, Kickstarter willing, we are going to get a professional cartographer to take what we've created.
Awesome.
And make really, really like a top tier the world map. First map will focus on the main the theater of war right now, which is the South Africa, Middle East, and Europe. The sort of the classic World War I map.
Yep.
And then it's the things go well. For us we would like to carry on covering the world. It's the thing a bit like the old Warhammer Fantasy. Your main maps covers like the old world.
Yeah, the Empire and Bretonia, and that was about it, really, wasn't it? All for one.
But then it's the start, like covering the Southlands, the Land of the Dead. We want to do the same, that the cover it in detail. But there is also like we have also had to really think about that what are the nations, how do they form, what's the capital, where are the heretic battle lines, what's the current like like, for example, how do the Ethiopians get to help the new Antioch? Because we have what seas are under heretic fleet's command. So we have to make the map so that within the context of the universe, it all makes sense. So there's a lot of thought process beyond just drawing the map that goes in. But for the book, absolutely, we'll have the finished map. It's and hopefully we can reveal that even before the books ship out. I know people are waiting for it, and I thank them for their patience. Only reason why you haven't got it yet is that we have only one mic, and in the end, we thought that it's better than that the mic takes a couple of months, that we get no new art. It's we get somebody who specializes in cartography, takes our rough map and turns it into a piece of art.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going for something like a proper cartographic map, then it's going to take longer, and hopefully it's worth waiting for. I just wanted to point out this particular model, because when I was going through Facebook, I was like, and it is best way to show you this. If you look at my camera, you should be able to see. I'll have to take my background off. Hang on 2 seconds.
Yeah. No problems.
None. There we go. So you can see this guy here.
Oh yeah. Our anointed, with an double-hand axe. Excellent.
And what I can only call, if I'm being completely honest with you, the French tickler from Blackadder.
Oh yeah.
Because that's one hell of a codpiece that guy's got going on there. Yeah. So. Okay, ask the question. I have all sorts of answers about it. So I'm just wondering, is this going to be indicative of what we're going to see with this kind of this? the heretics, as it were. Because the thing is, you get, and I'm just thinking, you know what, I'm going to leave that background up. It's just my animals. If you see an animal wandering on the inside of the cage, that's absolutely fine. If it's on the outside of the cage, let me know. That's not so great. But yeah, because I mean, what I'm thinking of is I'm just thinking again, when we go back to something like, and I hate to keep using it, but something like GW with Chaos. Obviously, they've had to soften everything down because there was that whole period where it was like Slanesh equals sex. And then GW became remotely scared of even showing anything even slightly S&M like or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, they want 12-year-olds to play and you can't have 12-year-olds, you know, viewing explicit material and stuff. But when it looks at the concepts of these models, it kind of feels like if it looks cool, we're going to do it and we don't care. Is that kind of the... Like you don't feel like you're constrained by any of that. I mean, obviously, there's no like full-on gratuitous nudity or anything like that. But you're like, this looks cool. This is what this character would look like. So that's what the model's like. Is that kind of fair enough?
That's completely fair. Actually, I mean, in here, it's the if you look at like the heretic concept, which is the rebellion against the god and the rules the god has, and what are the 7 deadly sins. Lust is one of them. You can also see that they have this the like the modeled breast on their breastplate is again to, even if it's a male warrior, it's again to show the rebellion about your place with the in the order of the universe.
Yeah.
Of course, the several of the historic demons in our medieval demonology, they had like a combination of male and female parts to show their unnaturalness.
Mm-hmm.
Odd pieces, of course, were used by some of the fiercest mercenaries in the real history, and the part of it was to shock the people. So we saw that the most elite of the heretic infantry, that they are full on like they are trying to like to make your blood go cold.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that guy gonna do?
With his French tickler.
Yeah. That's not your cup of tea. It's the snipping it off will take maybe 2 seconds.
Ouch.
And yeah, exactly. Or you want to change the breastplate into more traditional ones.
Yeah.
Snapping on some green stuff will take a couple of minutes. I mean, it's nothing. But since we don't have, I mean, I think it would be a cop out not to go there, because we are talking about in a mature game. These are real heretics, and the stuff that I cover with the lore. Because the interesting thing with heretics, of course, is that they see themselves quite righteous, and them being in the context how they see the world, the good guys. It's they want the parity with that was denied to them. It's what they call the god in the universe tyrant that they are rebelling against. They see themselves quite righteous. So to make them the not even have that option is to go really out there. I think it's a cop-out. Again, you don't like our scouts. There is plenty of these evil knight models out there. It's the used from various manufacturers. But I think we owe it to the concept that our stuff is uncompromising in the vision. Doesn't have to be everybody's cup of tea. Hey, it's I don't like every single model out there. No skin off my chin. But for our heretics, they really, I think they need to communicate that we are the fallen people. It's and we are coming to kill you and do unspeakable things to you, and you'd better run if that's your only option.
Yes, exactly. You don't want the Saturday cartoon villains approach, do you? You know, you want something that actually looks like it's going to seriously mess you up. And they're just like, as I say, they're just like Mike's artwork come to life. It's incredible pieces. I'm really, 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 really looking forward to getting hold of it. And some people have been painting stuff up and putting it up on, on the Facebook group and presumably the Discord as well. I will say that I don't use Discord mainly because it just goes a bit fast for me.
Yeah, it's very...
I can't keep up with it. It just goes too fast. So I had obviously there were people mentioning about the Discord drama, and I did cover that in a previous chat with Thomas that I will put in the link to the description, a link in the description. But I think it's fair to say that's just all of the past, isn't it? I mean, the Discord now, no dramas, all good, just everybody in there having a good time. and it was just a couple of malcontents with the old server that are no longer an issue.
Yeah. I mean, also, well, let's put it in context. I mean, we now have over 12,000 people, and the Discord is growing all the time. I've been a part of, because of my job, many different forums. It has easily the lowest number of bans, because you do get some spammers and bots. It's that you have that. So, but even if, to put it in context, there was a 4,000-ish people involved when we were guests at T28. 5 people were banned. I was asleep. Like, I like to take the credit. I can't. But based on the description, all of those guys just basically broke the rules.
Deserved it, yeah.
I think that the Discord rules are super simple, but I also look at it this way. That look, if you look at the rules of any group you go to, whether it's your local wargaming club or a Facebook group or a Discord channel, and you look at the rules and say, I can't live by these rules, it's not group for you. There is the Facebook group is you tend to have younger people on Discord. You tend to have older on the Facebook. So there's different vibes. I think you need to, if you like a game or hobby or anything, you need to find a place that has your vibe. But there are things that quite frankly, it's I think the rules should be there. I mean, if you are, let's not put try to put a lipstick on a pig. If you are want to post pictures of people of different ethnicities in gallows, you're not welcome in many places anyway. So I don't think it is in any way unreasonable that the groups have some rules. It's and you should look at any group you join, like you should, sports club, country club, whatever it is you go to, golf club. Can I live by these rules? And but it is, to me, it's one of the calmest, chilliest, friendliest places. I'm a game developer. I have my full-time job with PlayStation. Then I do all night. I do the Trench Crusade. I don't hang there 24/7, but I've been in some very, very, very toxic groups. I think it's better that there is moderation. It's and some rules can be not. But I also do not. It's like saying that you allow only some kind of people. I'm thinking we have 2 Catholic priests. I have 1 doctor of Catholic doctrine. We have plenty of the Muslim players who want to play the Iron Sultanate. They are not known as the most, how would I say, the Western liberal people.
No.
They're having great time. It's the interacting with everyone. I wanted, and I know Mike and James, all of us wanted to offer a game that it's a big tent. It's you're civil to each other. You post about not what you hate, but what you love. You will have no problems. We have people who have very, very different positions on life, whatever. But the forum isn't about that. The forum is about the game.
Yes.
And that's what the people are talking about. So I just think that the number of bad actors is in reality so incredibly tiny. Because you look at it when we came out, if it truly was that like some people were saying that you lost everybody, but when we came out, I posted the picture. We were the most popular upcoming Kickstarter on the planet. We are still at the very top all the time. We've already passed well over 12,000 people are already following us on the Kickstarter, which is a very high number for an indie project, any project actually. It's extremely high, but especially for a indie game with no marketing and no the company tagging us up. It's we must have done something right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I as far as I'm aware, it's just all in the past. Be an adult, behave. And it's not. You were talking about maybe quite funny actually, because you're talking about country clubs and sports clubs, and I was like, well, their rules are you've got to have money. Trench Crusade doesn't care. You've just got to love what you're doing and post it in there, and don't get too sort of I don't know. Just I mean, at the end of the day, it's a very simple rule. Just kind of don't be a dick, isn't it? I hate to say it, but it kind of is that way.
I mean, to me, all the gaming forums I frequent are my good places, my fun places, where I go to relax, chill, talk to other people who love what I do. I don't particularly want to deal with all the other crap that happens in the world. It's I mean, there usually is an off-topic channel. I just stay out of there.
Yeah.
I'm not interested. It's I want to talk about the game that I love and the what I've been doing, what I painted, what I've written.
Mm-hmm.
Not about the something that's nothing to do with the game. It's I want to have fun in my fun place.
This is it, and the thing is, I mean, it's escapism, isn't it? I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a very, very dark form of escapism, but there's nothing wrong with that. I watched Terrifier 3 at the weekend, and that's about as dark as you can get for escapism. So, you know, you want to escape into that, you know, happy place, even if that happy place is filled with demons, fire, and skulls, and you know. That's what you should be sharing. It's like, you know, this is my joy. I'm putting all my personal stuff to one side, and this is my hobby. This is my hobby. This is what I want it to be, and this is my way of representing what I'm doing in the hobby. And you know, I've put a Trench Crusade warband or two together myself. You know, using mostly War Games Atlantic's bits. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can share this. Can you see that on your screen?
Oh yes, it's I see there is our the prisoner from the Trench Pilgrims.
Fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a few of these because I see all these pictures on the Facebook profile. I'm just like, this is amazing. This is really, really cool stuff. But I think a lot of people don't quite understand how cool some of this stuff is. So if it's right with you, with the time we've got left, because I don't have many more questions about the Kickstarter, and I can't see any in the chat. So guys, if you do have any more questions about the Kickstarter that I've not asked, please feel free to broach them in the chat and I'll try and pick them up. But I was wondering if we could just go through a few of these pictures and you can just tell us a bit about the background behind the character and what goes on, because this dude is essentially a living bomb.
It is, yeah. So the prisoners of the Excelsiatic prisoners of the Trench Pilgrims are basically, some of them are captured heretics, that some of them are like a penitents that they want to have one final act of the strike against the heretics. And these guys just run on to against the opposition and then blow themselves up. Now, there's a couple of things in the Trench Crusade University. Because the pilgrims are not part of the official church forces, the church frowns on this, but neither do they put a lot of obstacles in front of the pilgrims, who are more a religious people's militia. They're devised because, strictly speaking, suicide is a great thing.
Of course.
There is as you find out in the game rules, every time they don't die. So there is a chance that the bombs have been built so they don't kill you every time. So they're gonna get away clause from the committing suicide.
Yeah.
But of course, the most often what happens is that the prisoner is gone for sure. It's a very, very dark concept, but obviously there are many real world parallels, and the people have done on a very similar sort of similar things. So
of course, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is nothing more powerful for good or for bad, good for ill, than somebody who is prepared to die for their god. At the end of the day, for their cause.
The Japanese in the Second World War, the emperor was the god, and my God, a lot of them flew their planes into the Allied ships. So
kamikaze pilots.
Power of faith and power of conviction, and that is really one of the central themes of the Trench Crusade. Is in many ways weaponized faith, isn't it? Okay.
Excellent. So we have just had a question come through from Nuzmak. He just says, could you tell us how many mercenaries Iron Sultanate and heretics will have? How many new mercenaries, sorry?
I will try to have that there will be one new the Sultanate mercenary on top of the Mamluk. I will try to finish that there for the book. And for the heretics, we have the Goetic Warlock, we have the Sin Eater, and I'll try to get the Berserker in as well.
In for the Kickstarter.
So that's what I'm aiming for the book. That does not mean that that's all she wrote. is we definitely want to do more mercenaries because of the first Kickstarter. The church forces got a big jump start because most of those models ultimately work best as a mercenaries rather than the core warbands. It's because those models were created as a one from here and here and here from the universe rather than a cohesive force. So the Trench Pilgrims and New Antioch have a bit of a jump start into the mercenaries. But we are not going to forget the Sultanate or the Court or the heretics. It's the more mercenaries are coming your way.
Awesome. Okay. We've had a few more questions come in, but I'm going to be greedy because it's my channel and I'm going to ask one first that's just occurred to me. We've got these lovely shots of the troopers, but I remember seeing for at least some of this stuff, and I don't know if we've got the picture in here. There it is. Multi-part. So with the Kickstarter, are both being offered, like one part and multi-parts? You can, because this looks more or less like you can just build your own dude again. It's almost like War Games Atlantic pieces. So is that something that we're seeing for the Kickstarter, or was that something that didn't follow through?
Okay, so we have three types of models. We have the heretic troopers and the pilgrims will have a pretty much full-on multi-part kit, so you can change weapons. It's the heads and so on and so forth. Arms. It's the heretic trooper is true multi-part. St. Decent's done incredible job.
That's this one here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have some that have more limited customization, like swappable heads or arms or weapons. We are also gonna do gubbin sprues, so you have a extras like the equipment, weapons. It's the that you can do customize your models with those.
Awesome.
And then we have like the some like the Observer that they are a single kit that's been meant to build as it is.
Right. Yeah.
So there is a variety, like the Sorcerer is one piece. It's a centerpiece kit that also you want to get that awesome pose. It's much easier to do as a single model, but you have variety. So you want multi-part kits. We have some. You want a customizable kits with the maybe less kits you can change, and then if you're really into your painting, you want the perfect pose. The custom built single pose, everything in place. We got plenty of those as well.
Awesome. Yeah, because there's some people who love the assembling and the converting, like me. As I say, I've put together 2 or 3 war bands. I've painted fuck all because I'm very slow at painting and I'm always busy doing YouTube. But I had so much fun just putting them together. And I was just like, this is just, how religious can I make this dude? How fucked up and heretic can I make this dude look? And coming up with my own headcanon and stuff like that. So it's good to know that there'll be versions for everybody. We've got a few questions come in, so I'm going to go through these. The next one was from Grace McKell, and it's: will Mammon's Knights of Avarice have their own warbands unit or units, or are they going to stay as a variant of the Heretic Legions? So is Mammon going to spread out on his own, or is he just going to stay part of the Heretic Legions?
Yeah, I mean, the Knights of Avarice, which are a variant, but they are very, very developed variant. There is so much unique stuff and the rules they've got that I would almost consider them already being a separate warband. They have a very big role in the lore to play, that since they are the ones that the Mammon is trying to conquer the North Africa because they want the access to the riches. And there are, of course, some, it's not allegories, but parallels.
Yes,
you can see happening there, and how the coalition of the nations there are resisting them. I absolutely want to do the Knights of Avarice their own models, because you guys probably have seen the artwork that they might put out was stunning, and some of the conversions the people are doing. I think the Mammon really resonates, and of course the story of our world right now is the greed versus everything else. So that's part of the reason why the Mammon's Warband resonates so much with the people. I absolutely, if the Kickstarter is successful, it's one of the first warbands that I want to do as an add-on. I might add additional rules, because they now have these in the lore. People who have used their own body as collateral, they've taken a loan from Mammon, and they put pounds of flesh. So what Mammon does, once you are too deep in the depth, they will cut your head. The head will be put in Mammon's the vaults, and the headless bodies then have to serve the Knights of Avarice as their cannon fodder. which I absolutely, it's the fills me with a joy. The concept, it's the I really want to do those models and add rules for them.
Yeah, no, that sounds really cool. Grimdark as fuck. So next one we've got up here is nice simple one from Minimundus. Have we got? Will we get minis for the Prussians? Are the Prussians going to show up?
Almost certainly. Like, we are already done art designs. It's for them. I suspect it's the Prussians being Prussians. It's everybody loves the crazy dudes running into the trenches and hitting them with SMGs. I think those models will be very high on the priority. I mean, purely from the point of view of how many people are interested in each faction, I have to say that the New Antioch is really, really, really popular. It's the people love the courage of a simple, humble soldier against the supernatural forces. So the chances are very good that the Prussians will get models, and especially that they will get them early on, because it's a popular warband. It's part of New Antioch, which is like the easily the most popular faction. But we need to also be careful that we want Iron Sultan at the court, the Black Grail, it's the Heretic Legion to be well served as well. It will be very easy to just focus on New Antioch all the time, but I don't think that's good. I think a variety, even if you're a New Antioch player, it's much more fun to see the world grow.
Yes, yeah.
Not just be focused on your faction.
You don't want to turn it into Space Marines, do you? Where everything's just a different colour of Space Marine kind of thing. So, I get that. We've also gotten here a lore-based question from Glenn M53. How much has hell affected the world? Is it contained and held back, or is it true hell on earth? It's a bit of both, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So how we've approached the lore, and again, remember, we are dealing with unreliable narrators in our lore. That, as you've noticed, even the court does not use full demons. These are they have a seemingly an agreement with heaven that if the full fallen angels come out and make war, we are calling apocalypse. So instead, the hell is trying to corrupt the earth little by little, using mainly their mortal servants, or the warbands of the court that they consist of creatures that are demonic in nature, but not quite full fallen angels that stay in hell. They run the operations. So because the rulers of hell are immortal, they've been fighting this war slowly from human point of view. Like 800 years is nothing to a demon. So they haven't gone for the full-on, let's conquer the world try to conquer the world immediately. They are taking it bit by bit, and remember, for them, just killing humans is not good enough. They want to corrupt as much of the creation and of humans, because they see that that's the way to disrupt the God's plan.
Yeah, the spiritual balance, as it were.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you believe the unreliable narrators of the world, then you kill a good person, or at least a person that is fighting against you, then the chances are, spiritually, you are not strengthening yourself. So, but during most of the war, it's the hell has been pushing. The heretic lands are not full hell on earth, simply because, like I said, the full demons stay in hell. But they are truly twisted. Like, you've got these inverted pyramids plunging into the ground with the altars on the bottom. It's you got all the like what we would consider like the civil society. It's based in a completely different principles. It's of the what is considered like a good behavior. But they are mainly done by mortal followers who still need to eat, sleep, drink food. They will consult, they use magic, they consult with demons, they are very much oriented towards the war. But if you look at some of the ancient cultures who had like practices like, say, heaven forbid, child sacrifice or human sacrifice, they didn't necessarily consider it wrong or evil. So a lot of things the heretics just take it as a everyday occurrence. And then of course you got the Black Grail, of course the Beelzebub he's got his own mind. He's just I'm gonna just consume the world. So I'm gonna release my plague, which turns living things into these the walking zombies under my control.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna wipe everybody out myself, and I don't give a fuck about the rest of the hell. They are all wimps and weaklings. So he kind of has his own private war, and the rest of the hell just leaves the Beelzebub's followers in the city of Ekron to do their own thing. But again, there the cult of Black Grail isn't demons that follow Beelzebub. They are his will, a disease of his will that's corrupted mortal remains and the all living creatures, and makes them to fight against other living creatures.
Gotcha. Okay, I think we've only got you for about another 10 minutes, Thomas. So I'm going to try and fly through some more of these questions quickly. We've got Nizmak's got hang on. Leargot says, what can you tell us about the campaign in the game? So is it still sort of the start out with 6 or 7 or 8 models and then build your way up to 20, or have you expanded that any for the full game?
Yeah. I mean, there's now the like your standard campaign rules that you can play without a map are already out. You can get them from our Discord or our Facebook group. And basically you can grow your war bandits from battle to battle. We have a system that the one that plagued me with the Mordheim was that once you start falling behind in campaign, it's very difficult to come back. We have the reinforcement mechanic. So if you are trashed in a battle, you can fall back, call reinforcements, and build up to a threshold at that point in the campaign, which makes you pretty much equal to all the other warbands. It's so obviously you don't have as much experience, and you don't get to do the exploration that turn. But it does mean that no matter how badly you lost, you will be in the fight to the end of the campaign. You don't get the situation that it doesn't really matter anymore what I do. It's I've already lost the campaign. So that's one of the big innovations that I'm really pleased how it turned out. And of course I have the new exploration charts. Those who played Mordheim are familiar with it. It's you should check it out. Check out the campaign rules and tell me what you think.
Awesome. You had me at Mordheim, honestly. I love that game so much. We've got a couple of questions here from Nuzmak, so I'll just do them both at the same time. And it's basically, will the Black Grail have any other warband variants or additional mercenaries, and will the Iron Sultanate finally have a warband variant for sappers? Again, I would think this is all going to be after the Kickstarter, but yep.
I will try to get at least one more variant for both the Sultanate and the Black Grail for the book. If not, it will be available in the living rulebook. But yeah, I want to do the Defenders of the Iron Wall warband. I am very keen about it. But as you've noticed, I tried to make each variant that they are actually different and interesting to play, and they true to their concept as much as possible. I really like how the Ethiopians turned out. Like I tried to get the feel right. Same thing for the Knights of Avarice. I have a concept for the variants, and I do a lot of variants. Almost all of them I throw away because they are. I don't think they're good enough. I want that every variant is really interesting. But yeah, the Masquerade of the Red Death and the Sappers of the Iron Wall. I will try very hard to bring them to the rule.
Awesome. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to have a deadline. You've got to have a time where things get submitted at the end of, there has to be a limit, because otherwise you're just going to keep adding forever and it will never get published.
We want people to be playing really early with our beautiful rulebook in their hands. It's with the rulebook.
Yeah, awesome. We've got APOC who says, what do I need to sacrifice to get a few Air Ranger sculpts? I'm guessing just your soul, basically.
No, I mean, same thing as with the Prussians. It's a popular warband. If we're successful, definitely one of the weekend where I would get the one of our sculptures is on it soon. I want them. I love the hit and run tactics. That's why I made the warband. I find the guerrilla warfare is really interesting, and I think there is a lot of, because in this timeline the island was never conquered, so a lot of the original culture stayed there. So but it's obvious, as we know, very religious place, especially in that point of time. So there's this interesting mix of, there's still a lot of the old ways left, but also like the stronghold of the church. I think we can do very interesting things with the models for that. I think it's also very high on the list of the models that we would get sculpted.
There's so many different cultures, especially when it comes to the religions that you want to try and incorporate. I mean, as you say, as soon as you go to where you've got this kind of cult thing and everything like that. So it's all going to be stuff that's in the back of your mind at the very least. We've got another one here, and it is model based because we've got a little bit of time left. Assuming the game is successful, do you plan to release models that are not necessarily meant to be used in the game? So like display pieces. I think the examples got here are the Paladins or the Living Saint Joan of Arc. I thought the Paladins were going to be in the game eventually. They're just huge, aren't they?
Yeah. The Paladins was they would be so powerful that we would have to do a battle game. We talked about this a bit last time.
We did, yeah. In the future of tanks and things, because they would take out a tank basically.
Yeah, with a single hit, but for display pieces, like we did one in the Mike did in a very far past. There's a beautiful, very large scale Trench Pilgrim. Awesome model. It's the absolute pain in the ass to produce. But the artillery, which we already held a poll, a lot of people would like a really nice, super detailed artillery, which collectible, because that she has become the unofficial mascot of the game. Just people seem to love that design. I love it. Definitely, Paladin would be potential. Some of the named characters from the history. These are absolutely a possibility. Again, these kind of things you need to get a very good sculptor who has to spend a lot of time because you need all these details.
Yep.
You potentially have to get it painted before you can sell it as well. So we need to have some idea of the demand. So we absolutely want to do them. The bigger question is that what's the right print number is there, and of course there has to be enough interest.
Yes, to make it viable in the first place, because as you say, you've got to put all that lead time into making it, especially if it's not something that's going to get used for the game. There might be less people who want it, but at the same time, I imagine there are quite a lot of talented 3D designers out there that might do their own statue version or something like that. So, I presume as long as it's not a direct rip-off of the artwork, Trench Crusade's got no problems with that. Another quick question here from Noodles. Will there be books? So we know there's going to be a main rule book. Are you planning on doing something like army books, codexes, faction books with lore and stuff like that? Or are we keeping it just to the main rule book? And in honesty, that's a question that I'm kicking myself for not asking.
No, I absolutely like. What I would like to do if everything goes super well, I would want to do a 6 new core warbands. There are the obvious ones. We already talked about some of them, like the Crusader Knights, the Church Metamorphosis, the Path of the Beast, and they do a supplement book and more optional rules. It's the cavalry. I want to do cavalry. Maybe they start dabbling on the vehicle rules. Absolutely want to do that. Lore books. I mean, today I started talking to Graham. The people remember the Graham O'Neill from the Black Library. It's the
Graham McNeil. Oh, cool. Okay.
There are. I'm hoping it's the Gavin and I are good friends. Maybe I could entice him over. There are a lot of these writers have pinged me. Again, it's the same thing. It's in order for us, because we are not going to ask anybody to work for free.
Yes, yeah.
That requires that there needs to be a critical mass of fans. So again, if we find that there's definitely demand, I would be the first person I would want to read a full novel set in the Trench Crusade universe by a competent author. We definitely want to do that. And again, it's all about, like you said, viability.
Yes, that'd be amazing to see authors of that caliber diving into this universe. My head would just explode, I think. Make the Horus Heresy look like Play School. We've just got 2 more questions, if that's all right, Thomas, because I know you're running out of time. The first one is, will we likely see proper Crusaders or Knights as their own faction or as mercenaries? You've kind of touched upon that, but I know you've said that the Crusader Knights is something that, Mike's massively into.
We are already started the planning what the faction would look like. It's as in what kind of unit it would have, what's the play style is. So absolutely it's the Crusader Knights. It's such a powerful image. It's obviously the game is called Trench Crusade, so it's a little bit funny that there isn't Crusader Knights faction there, and they have quite an interesting lore in the Trench Crusade, because instead of heroes, because they are the ones who brought the calamity. It's to the world. They are both the frontline, powerful frontline soldiers for the faithful, but they are also feared and hated because people see that it was their fault why the world is in this terrible.
Yeah, of course.
So there's a very interesting dichotomy there that I think will make a very strong subject matter, because just doing that these are the great knights, they are best at everything, everybody loves them, they are perfect, isn't very interesting.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, let's just say there's so much stuff to do that there's going to be some stuff that hits priority and there's some stuff that's just going to be a little bit less. So we've got one last question for you, and I really appreciate your time. It is there going to be an option for tactics like command stratagems in 40k or Kill Team? How about the Overwatch rules that Geeks and Sundries came up with? Oh, and I came up with over on the Facebook. So I guess you're going to want to try and keep it as far away from 40k as possible, but I do understand the aspect of having some kind of strategy. I used to like the old, do you remember the second edition strategy cards? They were fun. Yeah. Apart from Virus Bomb, we ripped that one up. That was overpowered.
Yeah, in the old Epic 40k, there was some very, very cleverly done the tactics and strategy cards. So those, if they're done, they will be optional rules, because the one thing that because we're a new game,
mm-hmm.
for people to even give a new game a chance, I wanted the Trench Crusade be a game that you can play for 2 minutes, and you are not master of it, because there's quite a bit of depth to it, but you know how to play. I mean, as soon as you understand this, how the actions work, like how do I roll for them, and I can order them in the almost any order I want. This is how injuries work, including armor. You can play the game.
Yes, yeah. And that's where the cinematics side of it comes in as well, doesn't it? Because you see these cool things happen, these tests and stuff like that, and you're like, oh, that's awesome. So, yeah, I get that. It's something you want to get into straight away.
So things like tactics cards and Overwatch, I am absolutely open to them. I love game mechanics. I'm a game designer. But I would not introduce them as part of the core game.
Mm-hmm.
I already have a bunch of optional rules that will be in the rulebook.
Mm-hmm.
I would add those. There. Overwatch, I'm a little bit because that would affect game balance quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I will have to think about how that would work the best. I've seen the rules. I need to really think about
mm-hmm.
them. I'm not opposed to them, but I think I will keep think of it like this way, that there is the core game, and then if you're an expert, just like you see with Mordheim, there are the core rules, and the people have added a lot of stuff around it over the last 25 years. Everybody knows this, and then every gaming group and tournament decides how much of this.
Yes, at the end of the day, any rule set is just a framework, isn't it?
Absolutely, and especially in a group like this that is supposed to be about your creativity. I think it's Mordheim had quite extensive optional rules section, which I think worked in its favor, because it made it easier and faster to pick up the core game, and then you would just pick and choose the optional rules that they brought you and enjoyed it. So
Town Crier, wasn't it? I think the magazine was Town Crier for Mordheim, and you'd have variant war bands and stuff like that, homebrewed war bands that would crop up in that. And that was one of the great things about old GW, was it got fan content and put it out there, and not just fan content, but like contributor content, if you know what I mean. So that's awesome. I mean, it's good that you're willing to acknowledge that and go with that. So no, that's fantastic, Tuomas. I can only thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure once again, guys. The Kickstarter goes live on the 29th of October, so it will be Artillery Witches for Halloween, and go check it out. Jump on the Facebook group. There's so much cool stuff that people are showing off on there. I can't overemphasize the amount of creativity on that Facebook group, and presumably the Discord.
The dev team posts there as well, and of course all of our the amazing painters who are doing the official scout paint jobs for the rulebook and the Kickstarter are posting there all the time. You will see some wicked models there. Yeah,
I mean there is some great stuff on there. Definitely check it out. And other than that, I think just remains to say thank you so much for your time, Tuomas. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I look forward to the Kickstarter, and I just look forward to Trench Crusade just becoming this huge, great big thing, and, you know, everything turning all heretical and nasty and grimdark again, because I think that'd be fantastic.
Okay. Excellent. It's been a pleasure, Misty. Hopefully I'll get to talk to you again.
Yep, fingers crossed. We'll still need to have a pint sometime when you come down to Nottingham.
Okay, yeah, and I will be back.
Awesome. All right, catch you later, Thomas. Thank you very much. And thanks, guys, for tuning in. Bye.